Hammers as a weapon may seem underwhelming, but honestly that is only because somebody made way too many gray hammers and needed to make them usable. Like seriously, there is no need to have this many great hammers. Then again, half of these things are atomic bombs, so take what I say with a grain of salt because most of these are good. One that isn't good is number 14, the wooden great hammer. This weapon is the weakest out of all the great hammers, and it is even weaker in most other categories too, like the straight swords. That's right, straight swords are outdamaging this thing. Oh man, this thing makes me mad. It is seriously useless. Now, that does come with the fact that it is the lightest great hammer with the lowest strength requirement, but there are better options. I mean, the pickaxe has the exact same strength requirement with 40 extra damage, and the spiked mace is even better with bleed on top of that. I mean, this hammer is just inexcusably useless. Number 13, the pickaxe. So this is the other hammer that has weaker damage but a low strength requirement. Plus, thrust damage is a great utility and adds some variety to the great hammer category. Unfortunately, it does have a few downsides that just, oh man, they make me mad. For one, the skill does not pull any weight for me to consider it even slightly useful. In addition, this is the shortest great hammer in the entire game. I really want to love this weapon so much, but man, those downsides kinda slam this weapon. That being said, it does still get good infusions. To be honest, this is a hard weapon to find a spot for on this list, so I'm gonna put it here simply because I feel like no one wants to use this unless they're doing a Steve cosplay. Number 12, the Old King's Great Hammer. This is like the bigger brother of the Gargoyle Flame Hammer. It does have less fire damage, but more overall damage, a better skill, and more power than the aforementioned. Love it or hate it, this is better than the Flame Hammer in every way except accessibility. Plus, the skill is almost villainous for a Pyromancer strength build. Unfortunately, it's going to be on the lower end of this list for only being okay, because it is genuinely weak on some fronts, and especially so in the Great Hammer category. Number 11, Vortis Great Hammer. This hammer is the Frostbite Hammer, which is an interesting niche to be honest. As I'm sure you have heard, having a status effect on a slow weapon is not a great fate. However, this weapon does attempt to compensate for that with the highest Frostbite buildup in the game. Now that sounds nice, but notice how I said attempts in the earlier sentence. This is a decent hammer with a special niche that is completely and utterly useless. Primarily because status effects in PvE are just awful. So yes, it is a decent Frostbite weapon. But no, that does not gain it many points in the grand scheme of this list. Number 10, the Gargoyle Flame Hammer. Dude, this hammer is literally the Old King Great Hammer, but with a different skill and more accessible acquisition. That being said, this unfortunately does less damage in just about every way. This thing also has a very low physical attack power, while the Old King Great Hammer has great physical attack power. That being said, it's clear that this hammer is meant to be accessible above all else, and for that reason alone, I'm gonna put it here. Even I have to admit, it's kinda mid, just like its bigger cousin. Number 9, the Large Club. Using this makes you a Neanderthal. A really, really strong Neanderthal. Wait, no, don't be offended. It's a compliment. I respect you. I promise. Number 8, the Spiked Mace. Ew, this weapon is mean. It has bleed, which is a status and therefore meh in PvE, but it also has good damage, good infusion scalings, and a good skill. It's a pretty good weapon. Plus, if you want a Dex Great Hammer, this is most likely your best pick. It's also pretty accessible with a low strength requirement and weight. I mean seriously, this is the best Great Hammer that is easily accessible to most players. So if you're craving an actually decent Great Hammer with low investment requirements, then pick this one. I personally love it, so I won't be complaining. Number 7, the Quake Stone Hammer. I was fully prepared to put this weapon on the lowest end of the list, but I was actually not expecting how competent this thing actually is. It's a pure strength weapon with a great amount of damage and an A in strength scaling. Plus, its skill is actually really competent. It doesn't beat out the Dragon Tooth in defensive ability, but it does sure put up a serious fight in offensive ability. I mean, seriously, it's a good hammer with some seriously good potential for a pure strength build. That being said, there are so many hammers that do better with a pure strength build, so I'm gonna have to put this one a little lower, even though it has really good damage and power. Number 6, Vortis Great Hammer. This is, by definition, the funny bonk stick. This is also the highest physically damaging hammer, losing only to Letos' hammer. It also has a strength requirement lower than the aforementioned Absolute Beast, with a weight that would genuinely crush anyone. It even has a unique heavy attack that looks really funny, and a super good special effect which enables some excellent healing builds. I mean, seriously, getting this many conflicting benefits is strange, and getting health on hit is really nice. However, it is important to note that it is still a Great Hammers. Great Hammers have slow movesets, which means that this mighty beast unfortunately won't perform as well with this effect as other weapons like Arstor's Spear. Even so, it is a really good hammer straight up, even past the large weight requirement. Number 5, Mours Great Hammer. Holy morn, this weapon requires so much investment. It requires 30 strength and 50 faith to wield. However, it is an excellent faith strength weapon. If you want a faith great hammer, this is the only hammer that you should look at, period. There is no other competition. And sure, it requires a lot of investment, but it is really good for the faith strength niche. Now, most people would look at me funny for suggesting it, considering how many levels you would actually have to sink into faith and strength just to use it properly, but I genuinely think that this hammer is underappreciated. The skill can actually pull weight, and it's pretty much Wolnir's skill on his sword with an extra buff attached. It's not absolutely mind-blowing by any means, but it is really good. Number 4, Letos Great Hammer. This is the highest damaging Great Hammer with the highest weight and strength requirement in the entire game. Let that sink in. It has an A scaling in strength, with excellent base damage whose only competition is Smo's hammer, and a weapon buff with the skill that can lead to even more serious damage. It is powerful physical damage wise, and it is the best for a pure strength build with literally no other focus. However, no matter how incredible that is, it would be inaccessible to almost any other build because of those requirements, and the fact that it's found in the back half of one of the DLCs. Yes, it is strong, no doubt about it, but man, this thing requires some heavy investment just to make work. Number 3, the Great Club. Wow, okay, that is a big stick. Like, who decided it would be a good idea to use this when you have other hammers? Oh wait, no, I get it now. The damage and the infusion potential are just that good. If you don't know, this club can actually buff itself using the skill and actually turn itself into the highest damaging hammer there is. No, I am not kidding. This is a beast among beasts, and I cannot say anything negative about it or else I would be untruthful and burned alive for heresy. Number 2, the Great Mace. This is the 3rd highest damaging Great Hammer, and it is the most accessible compared to most of the other high damaging beasts. I personally love this thing, and I want to straight up blaze it for a few seconds, so get ready. Sure, the beast scalings look bad at first, but you pretty quickly realize that if they were any higher, this would be the best Great Hammer, no questions asked. I love this hammer to death. It is strong, it looks good, it is crazy reliable with good infusions. Like, my gosh, I don't even care about the damage. Let's put that to the side. Just look at this thing's design. I don't know who cooked on this thing, but they need a raise. And number 1, the Dragon Tooth. This thing is the best, no questions asked, especially so for a tank build. If you are a tank build, this is the only weapon that you should want to use, period. Not only does it do great damage with an excellent strength build potential, but it grants an absolutely war crime adjacent 12.5, that's right, 12.5 boost to magic and fire defense. That is unbeatable. It is just insane to have that on a weapon that is already perfect for a good tanking build. This is evil, broken, and just powerful. It is good too, no contest. Oh, and did I forget to mention, this thing can actually be buffed. Yeah, it is absolutely insane. I don't think any other hammer can really compare to this thing, nor most other weapons, even though this thing is found very, very late in the game, hidden behind a secret area you would never be able to find without a wiki page. And the fact that it is found later than most other weapons is literally its one downside. Yes, that is its only downside. Hey, Bob the Builder called. He wants to know your location after you used 50 frickin' hammers in this one playthrough. I would tell you that I appreciate you watching this video, but honestly, dude, you might just want to run. So, good luck and happy hunting.